Hey everybody, welcome back for a brand new video about that show that may have ended but will eat away in our brains' memory banks forever, The Walking Dead. Warning, beyond this point there are spoilers for people who are not up to date in the Walking Dead TV universe and the comic book series it was based off of. In this video we're going to give you our Rampage recap of every unfinished storyline left in The Walking Dead, and after 11 seasons you better believe there's more than a few. We've rewatched the entire show and are including any unanswered question from the original series. If something was answered in a spin-off, we're not counting that. Now, let's get right into these unsolved mysteries.
Rampage.
The first and most obvious mystery is the origin of the wildfire virus that caused people to turn into the Walking Dead. Now, we can't fault AMC or anyone for this loose thread, as virus origin is left unknown a good amount of the time in a zombie story. It still would have been cool to get some kind of closure before the series ended, but hardcore fans to The World Beyond and Tales from the Walking Dead know that the virus originated in a biomedical facility in France, but nobody knows exactly how the virus started. Robert Kirkman kind of memes that the virus was started by space spores, but that would only be for the comic books anyway. What do you think? Was the virus a chemical weapon or a freak accident? The virus origin also ties into the whole Varian Walker storyline that disappeared after the first few episodes and conveniently showed back up for the last few, which is another big question mark. Most of the other dangling plots are tied to either a community, group, or person, so we'll kind of jump around in our list until we get to the end. First, let's talk about the different communities and groups throughout the series. The biggest and most recent question is, what the f*** happened to Oceanside? Hornsby basically became a Batman villain and a major cliffhanger was made out of this 11B moment, but we never got any answer as to what happened to the rest of the community besides Luke and Jules. In that last time jump, we still didn't see a single Oceansider. Was the community wiped off the map? It's The Walking Dead, of course that's possible. The next bit of unfinished business is a throwback to Season 1. The fate of the orderlies from the Vatos episode is not known to casual viewers as they never got an answer in series as to what happened to these guys. There's a deleted scene from Season 2's premiere that shows most, if not all of this group were overrun by the dead, but deleted scenes aren't canon, so we really never got an official answer. Could any of them have survived and come back for some revenge on Daryl? This mystery is also tied to a mistake we made on an earlier video. We ranked all of the communities from TWD, but totally left out the hospital people who recruited Beth before things got ugly. Really ugly. It's such an intense moment after Daryl walks out carrying Beth that we completely forgot that there was a whole group of people that had a pretty sweet location but were never seen or heard from again. Did they change their ways? Another blast from the past group that just disappeared to never be heard from again were the Living, all the way back in Season 2. Are they still out there up to no good? Following that, let's talk about a much larger group, the caravan of people that Michonne left to find Rick with. Aside from the fact that they have some cool steampunk type gear, we don't know much about them. From this shot, we could tell they were a huge community, and from these struggling survivors, we know they were willing to leave people behind. Are they a faction of a community we've already seen like the CRM? Will we see this traveling society again in Fear or one of the spin-offs? After that, we're going to talk about a smaller group, Lance's Black Ops team. We saw what happened to Calhoun, but what about the others on the board that Eugene did his beautiful mind thing on? Did they just decide to live peacefully in the Commonwealth? That leads us into a bigger question regarding Lance and his possible connection to bigger communities like the CRM. At multiple points in Season 11C, Lance alludes to some type of ties to other powerful communities, and we're guessing he didn't mean Georgie.
Certain alliances the Commonwealth has, certain stabilizing factors, are likely to become a problem.
Connie was labeled a Designation 2 when everyone was being carted off to the concentration camps, which is yet another mystery that is never resolved during the series.
Well, I heard rumors about Designation 2. They're taken somewhere far away. I'm never seen again.
Are all these things pointing towards the CRM? That leads us to our last unfinished storyline that revolves around a community, the ominous CRM. First introduced in Season 8, we thought that we would eventually get some answers about this community, but inside the flagship series, up until the end, we get nothing but questions. Why is Rick in some kind of prison work program? Who is this community? What do the 3 rings mean? Where are they based? Do they have multiple cities? Now, the spin-offs have answered a bunch of those questions scattered about in random storylines, but the flagship really tells us almost nothing about these people except that they have helicopters, and of course the biggest mystery is the whole A's and B's thing. We know that A's are bitten, but it's still very unclear what a B is. Rick was deemed valuable for something because he got Jada super promoted, even though her haircut sucked, but how valuable could one really tough guy be to a society that is so large and well armed? Now, let's talk about characters who are left as big question marks. We're not going to talk about red shirts or strangers that were briefly encountered, but main or supporting characters who just kind of disappeared. We know this happens in the life of the apocalypse all the time, but why couldn't we see or hear about it with 11 seasons worth of screen time? The first character is one who has hinted at returning to the universe, Cindy from Oceanside. We last saw her in the 10A finale, although she was briefly mentioned in Season 11. It's still strange that the leader of a community just kind of ghosted everyone. We're thinking she might end up showing up in a spin-off, but with Scott Gimple in charge, who knows? These characters have always been intriguing to us, Georgie and the twins. Georgie only showed up in one episode, but Maggie left the communities for her, and then she left Maggie for an even bigger community out west. Will Georgie show up on Fear? Maybe, but we never got real answers about her in the original series. The next characters we want to cover didn't show up until the middle of season 11, but they meant everything to Negan. We're talking about Annie and the child of the former Savior's boss. We know Annie was pregnant, but the last time we see or hear from Negan is outside of Rosita's Last Supper. Did Annie survive childbirth? Does Negan get happily ever after? Examining just the episodes in series, their status is unknown. The hardcore fans will have to follow the spin-off to find out more. Now, let's talk about one of the weakest survivors, Virgil. This guy didn't show up on the scene until the season 10B finale and already disappeared by 11A, never to be seen again. He seems more like a plot device for a few major characters than an actual character with an arc, but we were still very curious whatever happened to Virgil. Did he find his people and make amends? With his survivor skills, he wasn't lasting long solo. This Whisperer wasn't really a character, but a moment was made out of them waking up after taunting Carol, and we never saw them again. Did this one get away and start a new community of Whisperers that Judith will have to deal with? Another set of minor characters that interacted with major characters were these kids that Michonne had to go all hibachi chef on. We know that at least one survived. Would this kid ever come back for revenge on Michonne's kids? We'll probably never know now. This next character was kind of given a proper exit in the season 8 finale, but the fate of Morgan Jones remains unknown. We know there's no way to fix this since Fear is still going, but we would have liked some kind of cameo from him at the end explaining he's alive and happy. Following a total lord, let's talk about a more cringe character, Jadis. Her one redeeming quality was saving Rick, but we were never given too many answers about her past and her ties to the CRM before she disappeared forever from the series. We found out more in World Beyond, but there are still a lot of question marks surrounding Anne/Jadis. What do you think? Will she pop up in Rick and Michonne's series? Do we care? After that, let's cover a character some fans love and some fans could care less about, Heath. We always thought he was a great, heartfelt character, but either way, we never got any answer as to what happened to the loyal survivor after he took one for the team to give Tara time to escape. We are kind of given an answer when Jadis is seen driving Heath's RV, but no real closure. This PPP card found at his last location just adds more questions than answers because we find out years later in Tales from the Walking Dead that a PPP card is relevant in the TWD universe, but we still have no clue what the f they mean. Why was it just left on the ground where Heath was? We really don't have many answers at all on this one. This set of characters migrated to Fear, but in the flagship show, we really get no word that Dwight ever finds Sherry or that they survive at all. Some kind of message system set up by the Commonwealth at the end with the Fear characters could have been a cool way to tie up the story of the pre-apocalyptic husband and wife, but instead we get nothing. Welcome to the apocalypse. This next question is an old one, and it's about the origin of a main character, Judith. Who is her biological? It's a pretty common belief amongst fans that Shane is Judith's DNA donor, but we never get any real proof-based answer. Does it matter? The kid is a Grimes through and through. Judith's mom also left us with a lot of questions. Where has she been? Where did she get the cool gear? Why is she alone now? Is she reporting to some new community? Having Michonne return at the end was a great, powerful scene, but once again, we've been left with more questions than answers. The final unfinished storyline we want to cover is the big one. What the f*** happened to Rick? The guy disappears on a helicopter and shows back up again looking like a dirty hobo. What has the CRM done to him? We have nothing but questions here, but are glad at least that the ending scene showed us how his phone and boots ended up on that boat back in season 10. We're thankful for the little things. What do you think? Were these all the unsolved mysteries left over in the series? Were they that important? What did we miss? Our one thought was that AMC could answer some of these questions in Tales of the Walking Dead episodes that actually tied into the universe. We thought that's the best use of an anthology series in a zombie apocalypse. That way, the viewers wouldn't be forced into watching an entire series for answers and instead just random specific episodes. The biggest mystery we almost forgot was how Daryl could possibly leave Dog when he went on the road. It just doesn't make sense. Thanks so much for watching our videos, everybody. As always, we're on the lookout for any new promos or insider information to help prove or disprove all the rumors and theories out there about our favorite show that likes to leave a little bit of mystery behind, The Walking Dead. Please let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok at Binge Rampage. Click the notifications bell for our channel so you can see our next video as soon as it comes out, and don't forget to subscribe.
You cared about her, and now she's gone because of me. Please just say it. Please say it.